I watched Bellator 206 on a new streaming service called DAZN. Are you familiar with this? It's no longer, or perhaps this one fight wasn't on Spike or Paramount Channel, as they call it now.
Yeah, I don't like the fact that they changed it to the Paramount Channel. I don't understand. If it doesn't feel like, I don't know. Spike TV had like marketing behind it. Paramount Channel just doesn't feel like there's anything there. I don't even know what this new service was. Was this all online? You watched it, or was it?
It's a streaming app. So you got a smart TV. You search the app, it comes up.
Okay.
It's $7.99. You get 30 days. And then you can cancel. So I'm going to cancel. And the funny thing was when I initially logged into the Bellator fight, there was music playing and two English guys, like what sounded like two English guys recording a podcast over the top of the fighting. And then quickly that kind of corrected itself. And then there was the audio, the commentary was on like a 45-second delay from the actual fight footage. So there was all kinds of problems. Of course, all right, whatever. It's your first time. I'm not here advertising Bellator or DAZN, but shoddy service if you signed up for the first time. Also, in England, I saw Gareth Davies. He's a UK boxing reporter. He tweeted out that they were watching Bellator in the UK, and because of the time difference, the main event went past 6 a.m. And just before the main event was about to start, the programming switched over at 6 a.m. to Peppa Pig. So you've stayed up all night. You've stayed up all night to watch it. You've just seen Rampage versus Vanderlei. Then the main event's about to start. They're walking out, and it gets to 6 a.m. There's a cutoff period, and Peppa Pig starts. Wow. How annoyed would you be?
Yeah, I'd be pretty goddamn annoyed. I can't hate. I'm sure they're trying to make these partnerships work, but that was literally you couldn't even watch it on TV? That was the only way to watch it?
Apparently in the UK, yes.
Oh,
but
wow.
So
yeah, I mean, look, those things always, I think anytime they start a new streaming service or something like that, they're going to always deal with their problems. But, the fights themselves, I guess people were excited about the fights. They were, I watched them online after the fact. I don't have the ability, unfortunately, to take off for Bellator events. But main event, I mean, look, the big takeaway here, Rory Macdonald, he lost second round. He tapped out to strikes, which is kind of crazy. We don't see that happen too often in high-level MMA.
Is that what it was? Is that the official ruling? Because I saw it, I watched it live, and I wasn't sure. So the official ruling is he tapped to strikes, eh?
Is that official? Is that officially on the cards, Harrington? Possibly, he'll find out. It reminds you of the last time we've seen this on a high level on a big stage for a title fight was Georges St. Pierre, Matt Serra. When he got caught by Matt Serra, he tapped out the strikes. So maybe there's something in the drinking water up in Montreal. Who knows?
I don't think that's the case at all, Lewis, but nice. I like the way you got like a little indirect dig at me, that a guy that beat me tapped out to strikes. I like it. Subliminal hits.
You're psychotic.
Okay.
That's what he heard there. I want everyone at home to listen at home and hear what he heard. Have the math of the psychotic brain of Michael Bisping turn that into me taking a dig at him. Everyone
Subliminal
just
Hits is the name of this episode, which is a good name. Let me explain to you what went on in that fight, okay? Rory Macdonald was up against Gegard Mousasi. Mousasi is a bigger guy. Fights at 185, fought at 205, even fought at heavyweight. He's a bigger guy. He's a better fighter as well. His takedown defense is better than the takedowns that Rory can do. His boxing is better. His striking is better. He's fought better competition throughout the majority of his career. So all in all, on paper going into that fight, respect to Rory Macdonald for taking it and stepping up. Of course, he had nothing to lose because if he loses, he's still the welterweight champion. But, it's a big opportunity. So well done to Rory for taking it. What I saw was Rory didn't want to step inside the pocket because if he steps inside the pocket, there he meets the better, superior boxing of Gegard Mousasi. And he's more than likely going to get lit up, clipped, counted, whatever you want to call it. So what Rory was doing was throwing these wild strikes from a distance, okay? And on the flip side, Gegard was cool, calm, collected, composed, just nice and chill. Opposite, Rory Macdonald was a little panicked, standing way out from the outside because he didn't want to step into the pocket and trying to throw dangerous one-punch attacks. Or, as we saw in the fight, what led to the end of the fight, dangerous sacrifice maneuvers. He tried an Imanari roll, which was absolutely no need to try and do. An Imanari roll, he kind of rolled on his shoulders. He tries to go for a footlock, and Gegard, stuffs that, ends up on top, passes to Mount, and elbows it to a finish, So, listen, Gegard was just a better fighter. Respect to Macdonald for trying, and well done to Gegard Mousasi, I guess.
So you don't think that there's anything to my theory that there's something in the Montreal drinking water? Because I'm thinking, I don't know, man. We've seen two.
I think there's nothing in the Montreal drinking water that makes you tap to strikes. No.
Look, take yourself out of this. Take yourself out of the equation here.
Eddie Bravo, okay? They're not spiking the Canadian waters to soften them up so that the North Americans can steamroll them, okay?
When you were fighting George St. Pierre, did you when you were hitting him with those elbows from bottom, did you see that he kind of wanted to tap to those strikes? Because I saw a moment.
I was thinking, wow, he's definitely been drinking some shitty water.
Yeah, there's something going on here.
Look at him. Look at this pussy. As I'm elbowing him in the face and he doesn't want to be there and he's bleeding all over the place. I could see. Well, I was hoping that put something in his water because, No, yeah. I didn't see that, Lewis. There's nothing in the water.
Maybe
nothing
I'm a conspiracy theorist. I don't know. Who knows? Also, your boy Rampage victorious over the weekend as well. You and Rampage have sort of you're cool again, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't say yeah, we're all right. We're all right. Rampage is a good guy. Rampage is a very good person. He's got a good heart. He's a good dude. We both, I don't want to get into it, but we were both repped by some people, and it kind of went sour for a while. You could probably work out who that is. But anyway, Rampage fighting Vanderlei. Jesus Christ. I know you didn't see the fight, Lewis. I'm going to throw you under a bus here. You're pretending for everybody.
No, I didn't. I already said I didn't see it. I don't fucking pretend. I ain't fake. I'm real as shit, motherfucker.
Vanderlei looked terrible. And I don't mean fight-wise. He actually fought pretty well. He actually connected with Rampage a few occasions. I was just like, when he walked in, it was like he exemplified the term dad bod like no other fighter has ever portrayed or displayed what it means to have a dad bod. And the shorts that he was wearing, he looked like he was wearing a fucking kilt. Okay. And it didn't go well with the weird face and the fat belly and the no muscle tone. All in all, it was a C- for appearance on Vanderlei, but he showed up in the fight. He did well. Rampage stalked him now. It was Rampage's fight to win the whole time. Vanderlei's older. Vanderlei's got more miles on the clock. Vanderlei's been knocked out a few times recently, even though he hasn't fought for a while. You know what I'm saying? Rampage is by far the bigger guy, weighed in at 250-something. And he got a good knockout in the second round, so well done to Rampage. And it was a pretty good fight, considering that both guys, are probably, Vanderlei definitely close to the end of his career. I don't know about Rampage. Says he wants to fight some more and says he wants to box. But still, it's fair to say both guys probably getting near towards the end of the career. And they both brought it. It was an entertaining fight. I enjoyed it. It was probably the fight of the night for me.
Yeah, I feel like there is a place still for all of these guys to fight. And, is it Bellator? I don't know. It becomes a weird thing because there's certain guys, and Chuck Liddell and Tito Ortiz being the fight that is coming up, a big one. It's weird to watch Chuck Liddell fight anywhere but the UFC. But at the same time, as a UFC fan, where do you draw the line? Where do you say, all right, well, this is supposed to be the premier league with the absolute, the elite of the elite fighting, or at the very least, everyone who's fighting should be working toward a title shot. That's sort of when I think of the standard, right? Like anybody who's playing in the NFL, they're working toward the Super Bowl to become the champions that year, right? So I feel like anybody who's fighting in the UFC should be working toward the goal of becoming the absolute best. And if they're not in that conversation and will never be in that conversation, is there a place in the UFC for them, or should they go to another league?
Well, there can't be a place in the UFC for them because the UFC is built upon it being the place for the best fighters in the world to compete. Simple as that. That's what it started as, and that's what it still is for the most part. Okay, they kind of break the mold a little bit here and there for guys like a CM Punk or whatever, but that's an entertainment factor and people buy into it. But no, it is the place for the best fighters in the world. Bellator, and a lot of times, and this isn't a knock on Bellator, I'm not trying to do that. Bellator are trying to grow as a brand. So they take on some of the fighters that have a brand name that are well known that kind of fall out of favor or aren't re-signed by the UFC, Bellator take them because it's a smart business move. These fighters like a Machida or a Rampage or a Vanderlei, the list goes on, a Rory Macdonald. There's many more. They have a following, they have a fan base, and Bellator are trying to grow. It'll be interesting though, because you mentioned the Tito and Chuck fight that's coming up. I don't know when it is, sometime this month,
November,
I believe.
Right?
Oh, it's November. It might be interesting to see if Rampage ends up fighting the winner of them two. That could be an interesting thing. But anyway, enough Bellator, enough Rampage, enough Vanderlei. Quick second to hear from BetDSI, betdsi.com. I've been a kind sponsor to our show for a long time. So if you've listened to this show, you know where we're going with this. betdsi.com, been in business for over 20 years. Of course, if you want to bet on sports, if you want to bet on combat sports, which is what our podcast is predominantly about, and if you want to bet on Khabib versus Conor, the fight of the decade, century, year, whatever you want to call it, then betdsi.com have you covered. Lewis, what are the odds on that fight right now on BetDSI?
Conor McGregor plus 135 underdog, which is a little bit surprising. I'm surprised that the hype train hasn't put Conor in a more of a favorite position. Plus minus 165 for Khabib. If you know how the odds work, basically if you put $100 on Conor McGregor, you win 135 profit. So it's tough. We've been talking about this forever. We're gonna do another show this week. You've gone back and forth a little bit with your official pick. Do you want to save your official pick?
Well, what do you want me to do? Listen, I'll tell you this right now. Plus 135, you say, for Conor McGregor. Okay. The fight starts on the feet. That means it starts in Conor's favor each and every time. And there's 5 rounds. And at the start of every round, guess what? They start on the feet. So every round starts in Conor's favor. And he only needs one good shot. Khabib, obviously, 26-0 for a reason. Hell of a chin. But if you're a betting man, you want to go with the underdog, which is Conor McGregor. And guess what? BetDSI.com have you covered. If you sign up and use the promo code BYM120, they will give you a 120% bonus match on your money. So if, like Lewis suggested, you put $100 on Conor McGregor, that will turn into $220 on Conor McGregor. Right, which is a fantastic deal any way you slice it. But if you want to put it on Khabib, they'll do the same thing. If you want to put it on whatever's going on out there in the world, BetDSI have you covered. Prop bets, good bets, bad bets, they'll take your money. But use the promo code BYM120 and you get a 120% bonus match. Thursday, I'll give you my pick, which way I'm going to go. But I suggest you put that 120 on Conor McGregor. Make of that what you will.